Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Americanism, not globalism. Americanism, not globalism. There is no global anthem, no global currency, no certificate of global citizenship. We pledge allegiance to one flag, and that flag is the American flag.
I'm Jesse Phipps with First Amendment News, brought to you by freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of religion, and brought to you by your U.S. Constitution. Today I want to talk about mind control, which is technological and psychological. They have been doing mind control for over 60 years, starting with MKUltra, which most people have heard about. But they've moved on further in today's technologies, like positronic frequency. It's a form of brainwash with the flicker of your TV. It usually runs about 12 hertz, but the flicker, if you'll notice sometimes during certain shows, even sports, entertainment shows, and definitely the news and commercials, love it. So let me just jump into that. There'll be a rhythm with the positronic frequency, which is the flash in between what you think are scenes. Always growing up, we thought, oh, they're going from one scene to another. But if you really are into the rabbit hole like I am, these positronic frequencies are actually flashing at a rhythm that what positronic means is it's anti-electron. And of course we know our brain runs on electrons. And what it's doing is, it's anti-electron, so what it's doing is it's slowing the brain waves down from working. Once the mind sees those flashes, flash, on a rhythm most of the time, at about 7 hertz, what it'll do is, it slows your brain down and puts you in, you're still in a conscious state, but you're almost like you're asleep. And you know when you're asleep, your dreams, you're not able to tell what is fake and what is real. So what that is doing to you while you're watching these shows is you're sustainable to all kinds. You're very vulnerable at this point to anything, any information coming into your mind for it to work on you and for you to think it's true. Because like I said, like during a dream, you might be getting chased by a man, but your heart rate is actually coming up and you think it's real. You're not going to be like, hey, I'm in a dream. It's actually, it feels real. It is real in your mind. And that's what they're doing with these commercials, news, and, sports. It's everywhere these days. They're trying to get you to buy products. They're trying to keep you watching a show. They're trying to, sports, most of it is harmless. But there is those, just the harmless is, hey, we're trying to get you to buy a product, which we don't know where it's going to stop with all the technologies that they're coming up with, which is some harmless, like I was saying, but a lot of these technologies that they're using is very vulnerable, and it's just like force feeding you with crap that's from anything to buying a product or continue watching a show or putting in false readings to your mind to believe the crap they're feeding us on the mainstream media. This can't continue. And I mean everything, subliminals, shop with us, come here, go there. If you notice, like on a TV commercial, say freecreditreport.com. How many of those commercials have you seen? Exactly, the same here. Or, all the commercials, you've seen them thousands of times. And that alone, without the positronic frequencies and the subliminals, just showing them alone is a form of brainwash. That's what I can't get people to understand. When I'm talking about brainwash, I'm not talking about, hey man, you're stupid, man, you've been brainwashed by that crap. No, it's something designed all the way back to Operation Paperclip, from when the Nazis came over here and started, taking over our scientific fields. And it wasn't just rocket scientists and NASA with Van Braun and Einstein and others. it was the psychological field and psychologists and mind control and the shocking techniques that they used on people that they said was done with, and that, oh, they got caught, and oh, we closed that program down. Of course, they started with marijuana in the 30s, and they also moved to acid in the 60s, and so on and so on. They created the hippie revolution in the 60s and got everybody on drugs and acid and the psychedelics. But what people's not understanding is that we've moved on from that, and instead of just doing it in a hospital somewhere, they've done it to the general public. Yes, the general public, folks. I've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. We've all had a form of brainwashing sometime in our lives. And people think, oh, when you say brainwashed, they're like, oh, you calling me stupid pretty much, because they think that brainwash means that they got had, and that they're more smarter than that to be done that way and not notice it. But that's exactly what brainwash is, folks. You don't notice it. And it's not like oh, you get brainwashed or see a subliminal that it just automatically, oh, you fall down and you got to go to the hospital or anything. So people think that they're not being harmed. But yes, folks, we are being harmed. We're being force-fed junk food by commercials. If you notice, you don't see any health commercials for, hey, eat healthy, eat these new organic energy bars from the health food store. It's always candy, potato chips, junk food. It's never anything good. And that's number one way with heart disease and cancer running rampant, which we don't even know where, every time, my town's pretty small where I come from, and we just got a cancer center at our hospital. Around here, it was occasional that people would get cancer, but now, since the cancer center got built, everybody's getting cancer. What's up with that? I can't see that just being coincidental. Of course, like I was saying, there's other ways that they're feeding us with stuff to get us cancer and heart disease. Heart disease is not just something old people get. That, oh, that's just part of life, that's normal when you get older. As soon as the cancer center gets done, they keep it full, and everybody I know now has got at least 1 to 2 family members that is over there weekly getting radiation treatment. And that's not coincidental. We've got to do something about this, stand up. Of course, yes, like I'm doing now. We can make YouTube videos and get other people to wake up. But when you come to, just like the 9/11 theory, it's a fact actually, the 9/11 conspiracy fact. People are talking about, oh, how the buildings, the engineering, and how the towers come down, and, different facts about, the pancake theory and Nest, and, all those theories. But that's not getting us conspiracy factors anywhere anymore. We've went over that, and I know it gives you a big boost of energy, and you feel great about yourself when you've learned something new, and you watch them all night long, or 2 or 3 days you'll spend on research on one conspiracy, and you really learned the facts about it. And that's great, because then you could do YouTube videos or talk about with your friends at school or at work and wake other people up to those same facts and make progress in that way. But when we're stuck at one point in the conspiracy field, talking about it, we're going to have to start, we need to start a Occupy movement. Like Occupy Wall Street was a great movement. And then look how it just fell off. Fell off, and you didn't hear another word about it. It ended overnight. We've got to be able to reach out to not just our friends, our family, and let them know, hey, I know another key piece to the puzzle about 9/11, or, how the buildings come down, and, I talked to an architect, and he said that there's no way it could fall at free fall, and we know that. There's no way that those buildings fell, 3 buildings on the same day, regardless if they got hit by planes, 2 of them. They got hit by planes, come down perfect, turned into dust. We all know that, of course, why didn't they test for explosives? Because they're not going to test for something they already know is there. They brung them down, they turned to dust, folks. I mean, you've got buildings coming down with sheetrock, office supplies, steel beams. The outer structure was a steel weight-bearing wall also. And then inside was weight-bearing. There is no way. You could see on the first tower that fell, the one, of course, that had the flag on top, you could see that cave in. Now, if that caved in and the inner structure gave way, it was built separately from the outer structure that was also a weight-bearing wall. So even if something like that did happen and it fell in like that, it would have left the whole outer structure, a shell of the outer structure. Which, of course, we know that it didn't fall like that. They used thermite and perfectly placed explosives throughout the building. And, but we could go on for days about this stuff. One of the biggest forms of brainwash is, of course, the education system. The education system is total bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to school, and I mean, you do learn some responsibilities and some other things while you're in school, but the shit in the textbooks, they're there to dumb you down. You need to do your own research. I don't care if you're in 5th grade, about to graduate high school, or you're in college already. College, of course, is a liberal institution designed, it's a psych ward. It's liberal, and you're going to learn diversity, of course, but only diversity if you agree with what they agree with. If you come there and you're wanting to speak conservative or pro-Donald Trump about something, of course you're going to get shut down, just like Milo or Ann Coulter. It's fascist. They're trying to shut down our freedom of speech and freedom of everything. When was the last time, think about it, that they gave you a right back, or we're giving you a new set of rights as far as, expanding our freedoms of, like, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, right to bear arms. The only thing you see about rights is them taking them away. And I don't know why that they're not integrating these students into their field of choice, because this is America. If these kids learn and they're smart enough, they can do computer coding or go to space, used in the manner that they should have been, and they're totally getting thrown under the bus pretty much with a $70,000 to $100,000 debt, looking for a job. But also, has anybody eat? Of course, has anybody eat lately? That's what I was about to say. MSM keeps putting out about, the food's getting more healthy. No, the food is junk. The MSG in the food, all the food, the GMO seeds, all the way to the chemtrails in the sky spraying down, and you don't think that's getting on our crops? That's probably one of the things it's intended for. But food, it's killing us. Potato chips, eat this, eat that. Just like I was talking about with the commercials. That's all the commercials are. And have you noticed the foods lately? Every time you think, oh man, that's good, I'm gonna get some more of that, man. That ain't too bad. The next time you get it, it's junk. The quality of food. Now, it could be where they're making it at, or they just get to a certain point and they think, well, we got them now, they're going to buy it. We've got enough people buying that, that we could just dumb it down. Pretty much, the quality level's sinking to the dirt. I mean, it is so horrible out here. Everything is getting worse. Nothing. I mean, I'm not a negative person. I'm very optimistic about the future of this country. But everything. When is the last time, besides, well, most of you, Donald Trump winning? Some great stuff for this country, and I know some of people probably won't agree with me on that. These shills are doing is they're overtaking our conspiracies and using all of our, research that we have gained, and then they'll slide in a little bit of bullshit. Just a little bit of bullshit here and there in each conspiracy. And to when people see it, say for instance, if you've seen a video, Gulf of Tonkin to 9/11, and then you start seeing bullshit in there, you're just going to completely shove that conspiracy to the side and think, man, this shit, why did I ever even get into it, man? This is crap. That's exactly what these shills want. It's for the real researchers to be lost. You hit search and you're searching, say, 9/11 conspiracy factors. It's being shoved to the bottom and all the bullshit is spread throughout. The greatest research documentaries on these topics is getting shoved out the window. Because by the time, even if somebody goes in there and say, man, I'm going to start researching this, or I'm either going to debunk it one. By the gatekeepers, of course, they feed you a whole bunch of good stuff, and then they hit you with the bullshit in between to get you to write off the whole conspiracy, period. So, watch out for the shills, and we know the trolls is on patrol. So, just remember that when you're researching videos. And don't let people tell you that, oh man, you seen that video on YouTube? Well, I watched this video on YouTube and it debunked that. So you're telling me that I can't watch the video a researcher did that spent months and months of time on a video? Man, you can't watch that, man. That the internet's bullshit, man. Don't watch that. That's what they'll tell you. And then to try to debunk you, they'll tell you about a video they've seen on YouTube. So, I mean, YouTube is a great way of research. Just be careful